Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa. I am a 200 Outer certified registered yoga teacher, and I've been practicing on my own for 10 years now. Today we are going to do a mindfulness Hatha Yoga flow. Hatha Yoga basically is yoga where you hold the poses longer and you don't necessarily have any vinyasas. So this is the perfect practice for practicing mindfulness. As most of you already know, I mostly work in Hatha and Vinyasa yoga, with Vinyasa being my favorite. I like to flow. So, as Eckhart Tolle says, wherever you are, be all there. The present moment is the only time we have control over. And by practicing mindfulness, we can improve our stress levels, reduce anxiety, sleep better, improve overall health, and focus. Living in the future causes worry and anxiety, and living in the past can cause fear. By being present in this moment, we can keep a balance. Yoga can bring us into the present and make us more mindful just through the practice itself, through the breathing, all that good stuff. So we're going to start this practice out by coming to our mats, lying down, and taking a few minutes to focus on our breath and the sensations it creates in our bodies without any judgment, completely present. So come to your mat and let's get started. Remember to smash that like button for me and subscribe. Come to lie down with your palms into the mat. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a long exhale out. Deep breath in. Noticing the breath flowing from your tips of your toes to the top of the crown of your head. And on the exhale, you feel the breath going back down the crown, all the way back up the toes. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. Deep breath in and expanding through the belly and the chest. Long exhale, letting it all collapse. Open your eyes. And from here, we are going to take the legs up the wall. To do this, you can find a wall anywhere in your house. And what you're going to do is you're going to scoot your sits bones as close to the wall as you can and leave your legs rest on the wall, so that the wall is basically bearing the weight of your legs. And this is going to be a very deep, relaxing pose. You're going to find a lot of movement in the digestive system, and it's really good for the body. And again, mindfulness. I'm going to stay here because I don't really have a good spot to show you legs up the wall, but you'll see my position and you do the same up against the wall. And we're going to be here for a minute or so. So come back to where you were at, lying down, and you're going to scoot your sits bones up to your wall. And then you're going to raise your legs up and rest your legs on the wall just like this. And we're going to hold this. You can do it just like I am if you want, but this is significantly harder to do and involves core engaging and it gets a little shaky through the knees and the thighs, but you're welcome to do this as well. Okay, now we're going to come down very gently, however that works for you, since you're up against the wall. Come back to your mat, and we're going to take legs, knees to chest. So let's interlace our hands as we begin to raise our legs up, interlacing the hands together, the fingers, and pulling the knees into the chest. You can make little circles with the knees if you want. What are them cats doing? Release the legs out in front of you. Oh, there's one. And we will come into supine spinal twist. You know how we do this. Left arm comes up to a T. Right hand comes to the knee as you pull the leg up and over, twisting at the navel for supine spinal twist. Intending to get the knee to the ground. Breathing through any tension. You may notice the longer you sit here, the further the knee gets to the ground. Inhale back to center. I'm going to hug my knee a little bit. Exhale, straighten the leg out. Take it to the right leg. Right arm comes up to a T. Left hand to the knee. Twisting up and over. Supine spinal twist on the other side. Inhale back to center. We're going to take our knees up to the sky. Walk the feet back about just a couple inches away from your sits bones. Lift the left knee, and place the left foot across your right leg, just like this. Interlace the hands. How do I always say hands? Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and begin to pull it in towards your chest. Keep the right foot flexed. Intend to put a little resistance in the left knee to push it to straighten. Not so much that there's any pain, just a little bit of pressure. Exhale, release. Left foot back down to the mat. Bring the right foot up across the knee. Begin to interlace the fingers behind the left thigh as you pull it closer to you, and flex the right knee towards or away from you. Keep the left foot flexed. Intend to have the tailbone straightened into the mat. You don't want to have your tailbone up like this. You should technically have the tailbone dropped to the mat in this position. So you only want to pull it as far as you can keep your tailbone into the mat, and your back should be flat. Exhale, release. Lift the knees into your chest again as you grab the outsides of your feet, intending to pull them into your armpits for happy baby pose. If you can't make it that far, it's okay to be here. Work within a pain-free range. Again, the tailbone technically should be in the mat. Neck should be long. Magic is visiting us. Exhale, release. Straighten your legs out in front of you. I'm sorry, Magic Girl. Palms down by your hips. We're going to come into fish pose here. So what you want to do is we're going to lift our chest. We're going to push into the palms. Okay, let me get this right. The fingers should be spread with the palms into the mat or floor beside you, and you're going to lift your chest up by pushing into those hands, using them for your strength, your power, and you're going to lift up onto the crown of your head, but you should not be putting the weight on your head. It should be very light. And when you're in this pose, do not, again, move your neck. So here, so you can better see me. I'm sorry about that. So, pushing into my hands that are about around my hip area, I'm going to lift my chest up, resting gently on the crown of my head here for fish pose. I have my feet pointed away from me. Come slowly by releasing the neck and then the chest. And we're going to take a moment to let that settle in. That is a top back bending pose. Walk your feet back to your sits bones, keeping the palms grounded into the floor beside you. Begin to lift your legs up to the sky. Roll up over your head for cloud pose. Maybe you're here. Maybe your feet touch the floor behind you. No matter where you're at, breathe and do not move your neck. Toes should be pointed down. Try to keep the legs straight, using your hands as your brake and your power. Release. Taking a few seconds to let that settle in. Excuse me. Hey, pretty girl, what are you doing there? Sorry about that. Now we're going to roll up to seated. Taking a breath here. Moving mindfully with intention. Option, roll your neck, roll your shoulders. And we're going to come into downward facing dog from here. Spreading the fingers, pressing into the thumb and forefinger, pushing away our shoulders down our back. Lifting the hips up to the sky, intending to flatten our heels to the mat, feet about hips distance apart. Gaze is at your ankles. Noticing any areas of tension. Really tapping into how this pose makes you feel. Begin to step the right foot forward in between your hands as you come up off of your leg. Chest is lifted. Adjust your foundation. Come into high lunge. Shoulders away from ears, palms facing each other, toes pointing the short edge of the mat. Take a few breaths here. Tailbone should be slightly tucked. And the hips should be facing the front of the mat. From here, kind of step or like hop your foot into a warrior one type position as we come into pyramid pose. Intend to straighten the front leg without locking the knee. Inhale, create a little back bend. Exhale, hinge at the hips, coming into pyramid pose, hands framing the foot. Intending to let your head neck go over your knee without rounding the neck or the back. And your chest should be not sinking into your leg. From here, twist the back foot back into high lunge. You may need to step back a few inches. Inhale. What is going on with my hair? Begin to pivot on the back foot, coming into warrior two. Heels in line, arms out beside you with the shoulders away from the ears. Hips facing the long side of the mat. Let me come back a little bit for y'all. We just can't seem to get it right today. The good news is I'm very close to getting a new camera, which should make this all so much easier. And I'm thinking about remodeling my office for a dedicated space. So that should make this a little better for us. I'm super excited to get better video quality for y'all. Breathe. Looking out over your front fingers. Inhale, tip back for peaceful warrior. Left hand coming down the leg, reaching towards the knee and calf. Right arm up to the sky. Looking slightly up. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, tipping the opposite way, coming into extended side angle. Left arm up by your ear, looking out under the armpit, bicep, whatever you want to call it. Don't sink into your, don't let your chest sink here. Inhale back to warrior two. Acknowledging the pose, breathing. Now we're going to rotate the back foot, the left leg, coming into a revolved pyramid. This is kind of a flow movement. So step it up a little bit, step the back leg up a little bit. Rotate it like you're coming into high lunge as you place the left hand down to the mat and the right hand stays up as you look out, straighten the front leg without locking it in. Look out slightly up and forward for a revolved triangle. That might be difficult for some. Inhale, come back. Rise up for high lunge. Point the toes about 45 degrees. Coming into warrior one. Knee should be slightly behind the ankle. Begin to straighten the front leg without locking the knee. facing each other. Inhale as you begin to bring the foot back to, well, my foot wasn't turned very well. Bring the foot back into that high lunge positioning. Lift up onto your toes as you hinge at the hips, dropping the right arm down, lifting the left leg up, twisting it out to face the toes on the long side of the mat, coming into half moon. Rise the arm up to the sky, toe is flexed, micro bend in the knee, standing leg should be grounded and solid. Exhale, come back down and rise up to the high lunge position again. And I'm going to back up because I did not realize I was out of view. I'm so sorry. I hate when that happens. So here we are again in high lunge. Step to the Tadasana. Shake it all up. Now step the right leg back into high lunge. Inhale, arms up to the sky, gaze forward, shoulders away from the ears, tailbone slightly tucked, and the knee should be slightly on or over the ankle or slightly behind it. From here, we step the right foot up just a few inches, and we begin to straighten the front leg. Tip our body over it for pyramid, framing our foot with our hands, letting the head and neck go. Keeping that micro bend in the knee. As you rise up, coming into sort of like a halfway lift in pyramid pose. Begin to cartwheel your arms, turn the back foot to line up heels to come into warrior two on the other side. Knee should be over the ankle or slightly behind it. Heels in line, tailbone tucked, grounding into the outer edge of the back foot. Back is straight. Gazing over the front fingers. Feeling strong here. Noticing how holding these poses really keeps you in the present. Now tip back, reaching the right arm down the leg for peaceful warrior. Left arm comes up. Look out under your arm. Inhale back to warrior two. Tip forward. Well, if you notice, I reach forward, then tip for extended side angle. And I bring my right arm up beside my ear as I look out under my arm. Inhale back to warrior two. Begin to bring the right arm up to the left arm as you rotate the foot, coming into that revolved triangle again. So as I'm swinging the arm up, I'm rotating the foot like I'm in high lunge, and then I drop the right arm down, left arm up to the sky as I gaze up, keeping the chest off the leg, straighten the front leg, revolved triangle. Inhale, come back down, hands frame the foot. Clarify your position as you rise up for high lunge. Take the right foot out about 45 degrees, setting up for warrior one. foundation right here. Straighten the front leg. Come back down. Now, bring your torso forward. Drop the left hand down beside the foot and up a few inches. As you begin to bring the right leg up, and then as you lift the right arm up to the sky, you're going to twist the hips out towards the side, coming into that half moon. Foot should be flexed, toes pointing alongside of the mat. Hips should be facing alongside of the mat. Micro bend in the knee. Hold in here. Drop the right arm back down. Bring the hips back to line. Step back. High lunge. Now step your right foot forward, coming into Tadasana. Shake it out. You've made it halfway. We're almost done. Palms facing your hips, or if you've got all longer arms, they might be further down. Loop the toes up, ground them into the mat. Bring the feet about hips distance apart as you begin to ground your right foot into the mat. We're going to take tree pose. You can lift your leg up without assistance and place it on your ankle, calf, or your upper thigh, never on your knee as we come into tree. I'm going to grab my foot and place it on my inner thigh. Bring the hands to prayer position. Intend to square the hips towards the front of the mat. Try not to collapse into your leg. And kind of intend to push the left knee back to line up. You gotta really find a focus point and ground through that standing foot. Exhale, release. Begin to ground through the left foot, taking it on the other side. I'm a wreck. Inhale. Right foot comes to the inner thigh. Hands up to prayer. Seems I'm better on my left foot. I'm sure you'll notice one side's easier for you as well. Intend to push that knee back to square those hips up to the front of the mat. Exhale, release. Take the the feet about hips distance apart. Inhale the arms up to the sky, shoulders away from ears. Sit down into the hips, rooting through the heels for chair pose. Intend to see your toes. Holding here, staying engaged to the core. Maybe you can get a little deeper. You want to keep those toes pointing forward. You don't want to splay out the knees. You got this. You're doing great. Maybe you'll notice you can get deeper as you're settling in and breathing. Now from here, balance on the left foot and step the right foot back. Drop the knee down to the ground, coming into low lunge. Stay up on the toes here for just a second. Shoulders away from ears. Neck and back are straight. Hands to prayer. Take the top of the foot to the mat. Twist to the left, placing the elbow on your upper thigh and the other elbow up to the sky. Inhale back to center. We're going to come back up on our toes. This is going to be tough. Rising up off our knee to high lunge. Keep the core engaged. I know that was a lot of work. And we're going to step the right foot back to forward. Taking a moment here in Tadasana. Inhale the arms up to the sky. And exhale, sitting into the hips for chair pose. Tending to see the toes. Keeping the knees straight. Feet together. Inhale. Place the weight into the right leg as you intend to lift the left leg up and back. Coming into high lunge. Dropping the knee for low lunge. Staying high on the toes here for just a second. Take the foot flat. Hands to prayer. Begin to twist the body. Elbow on the outside of the thigh. The other elbow up to the sky for a low lunge twist. Inhale back to center. We're going to step our legs back here. Come back onto our heels and just take a breather. From here, it's going to get super, super hard, and I know you got this, but it's only for a few minutes, and then we'll come down for a cool down. All right, so come to the long side of your mat, and the left knee stays here with the tops of the foot on the ground, and extend the right leg out beside you, and the long side of your foot is going to be facing the short edge of the mat. Coming into gate pose here, hands on the hips. Take the right arm down the leg without putting pressure on it. Lift the left arm up to the sky, looking under it. For gate pose, a nice side body stretch here. Do not sink into that knee. Exhale, release. Step the right leg back. Now take it to the other side. Left leg comes out with the long side of the foot facing the short side of the mat. Take the left hand down the leg and raise the right arm up to the sky. This is one of my favorite poses. And come back to center. Placing the foot back down, we are now going to come into crow pose, our peak pose. So for crow pose, this really takes some time. This took me a couple months to master when I first started. When I first started doing yoga over 10 years ago, this pose was the pose that was like my goal to achieve. And over time it got super easy, but as a beginner, it is going to be very hard. So to do crow pose, you're gonna spread your fingers apart, place them into the mat. You're really gonna be grounded and rooting through all of those fingers as you push yourself up. Come up onto your toes, and then you're gonna walk your knees into your armpits. They need to be way up on your arms, okay? And then you're going to, you should be looking out in front of you with the crown slightly up towards the sky. You do not want to be looking down or too far up, or you will lose your balance. So tuck those knees into those armpits, lean forward, and you can be here. You can start here as a beginner. Remember, your gaze is slightly forward and down. Or maybe you take the full expression and lift your feet up, holding here for crow. Breathe, rock back if you can't hold it any longer, and come into Garland. It takes a lot of strength. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to show you again. You don't have to do it again, but I'm going to show you again. So, you've got the fingers spread, bringing the knees into the armpits as you have the gaze out in front of you and down. And you can be here, just up on your tippy toes, learning. Or maybe you try to lift one foot and stay here, or lift the other foot. Just kind of messing with it, feeling how it feels for you, seeing how far you can go today. Don't try to do more than you can, okay? I'm gonna come into it one more time. I can't hold this very long. I can do it, but I can't hold it for more than like 3 seconds. So here we go, one more time. Working with what feels good for you, what is doable. Here we go, I got it. It really is a focus point here. Coming down into Garland again to release. Breathe, I'm proud of you. Whether you were just one foot up or just your toes up, that pose takes a lot of strength, and it took me a lot of time to master it. One of these days we'll do some grasshopper poses and headstands as well. Good job. Coming into Garland here. Well, we've been in Garland. Breathing, letting it settle in, that was a lot. And you don't want that pressure in your wrists. You do not want that. You have to keep your focal point, and your gaze should be, crown should be slightly up with the gaze forward. It is very important that that gaze is like that. You don't want to fall forward either, so don't take it further than you can do. Everyone begins somewhere, and that's okay. And if you never do it, that's okay too. Just keep trying. Inhale, let's take the Garland bind here, interlacing our fingers behind us, if that's in your practice. If not, you can just stay here with the twist and take it to the other side, stretching all that out. Notice I interlace my fingers behind me. Inhale back to center. Take the hands out in front of you. Walk the legs back as you come into child's pose here. Rolling over into cobra. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Do this as many times as you want. I know it feels really good on the back. From here, interlace your fingers behind you with your gaze. Lift it just like cobra. Gaze should be in front of you. Straighten the fingers out, the pointer fingers, and begin to pull your shoulders down your back as you lift your chest up and raise your feet off the mat as much as you can for locust pose. Don't move the head or neck here. Breathe, and maybe your feet are still on the mat, that's okay. Here I am moving my head and neck. Or you have them up. Either way, whatever works for you. You might even be clear down here. This is a really intense back bend. Inhale. Pull the arms down your back without ripping them out of the socket. Gaze is forward. Feet lifted up for locust. Exhale, release to the mat. Taking a breather. You're doing really great today. I'm so proud of you. Come into tabletop pose. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. We're going to do a couple cat cows at our own pace. However feels good for you, okay? Inhale, belly drops, crown to the sky, butt up to the sky. Exhale, rounding to the back, chin tucked. Maybe you take some in the other direction. Coming back to center. Walk your hands back as you bring your sits bones to your heels, rising up as we come into camel pose here. You may take the full expression or the modified, whatever works for you. So flatten your feet, come to the tops of your feet, place your hands on your lower back, begin to lean back, letting your head and neck go last for camel. Or you can come up on the toes, intending to reach the heels for the full expression. Coming a neck glass. Releasing. Place your hands beside you as you extend the legs out in front of you. In staff, hands beside the hips. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, for seated forward fold. Keep the back straight. Gaze should be forward here. Pulling your body forward without rounding the back. Feet should be flexed. You should feel a really good deep stretch in the back of the calves here. You might still be up here, and that's perfectly okay. From here, release your hands back to your hips. Oops, I'm sorry, no. Lie down. Bring the bottoms of the feet to touch. Prasupta Konasana, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, letting the knees fall naturally. If you're a little tighter, they may be more up here, and that's okay. You're also welcome to use blocks to modify, or pillows or rolled up blankets if that feels better for you. We're going to be here for a little bit. My palms are facing up. Inhale, lift the knees back together. You can assist them with your hands if you'd like. And that's extend our legs out and coming into final Shavasana here. Coming back to our breath again. Notice how you feel more energized and focused. Your mind is clear and you already see a difference. I'm proud of you for showing up today. You did great. When you're ready, move to your side, sit back up. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. I feel great. I'm sorry, I feel like today I was a little bit lacking on my cues. Maybe I jumped into it too quick today. I was excited to share with you. You'll notice that Hatha really brings you that mindfulness. Really holding those poses really brings you to like pay attention into that present moment. So I love that. And I know it was kind of weird that I choose crow, but that really took a lot of mindfulness. You know what I mean? You have to really focus on that, and that's good for you. So one of these days I'll do a crow pose breakdown, because I know I kind of just threw that in there. And if you're a beginner, you're like, whoa, Lisa, what was that craziness? What are you doing to me? And I completely get that. I did just kind of throw that in there, but it just really seemed appropriate for this practice to do the crow pose. And one of these days we will do a pose breakdown for those, for that. And I hope that in your yoga journey, you also have some goals to set on, or some goals set on what poses you want to take further or you want to learn. Like I said, for me, it was crow when I first started. That was what I really was like, I'm going to learn this. I can do this. This is so cool. And the next thing you know, I was doing baby grasshopper. I was doing all of them. So the only thing I have not accomplished to this day is handstand. And I can do it on a wall, but I'm just quite frankly too scared to do it without a wall. It's just me. Maybe when I was younger, I can do it. And eventually we will do some practices with some forearm stands at a wall to make sure everybody's safe when we're ready. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Comment if you have anything to say. Thank you for joining me in magic today. Namaste.